Now guys, I want to show y'all something, okay? Not only was this here a unique ostomy room, okay, the ostomy was created by a botched surgery which led to an emergency laparotomy that resulted in a colostomy. Okay, the botched surgery resulted in an emergency exploratory laparotomy that resulted in a colostomy. Now, what you are about to see is actually the result of an incompetent nurse in ICU came in there, and the doctors had doctored the file saying that Linda hadn't been out of bed in 7 days, which she had been up walking every day up to the emergency surgery, okay? Liars they are, but they doctored the file to cover their asses, and this nurse reading the file came into the ICU room 36 hours post-op from the time this ostomy was done. Okay, an emergency laparotomy, emergency exploratory laparotomy, resulting in a colostomy. 36 hours post-op in ICU, we get a nurse that's a floater that's not even working at UTMB all the time. She's like a temporary because they're short-staffed. Comes in there and starts doing these abdominal palpations, grabbing one side of Linda and shoving all the way in, and Linda saying, ah, okay? And I said, hey, I said, what are you doing? You a doctor now or what? Because she was doing this, she was shoving on Linda's belly. So, oh yeah, we're going to have to get a CAT scan and MRI here. And then she'd do it in another spot. And I said, whoa. And Linda was like, ah, every time. And I seen what she was doing. I said, what are you doing? I said, man, are you a doctor? You think you're a doctor or what? She said, no, but it's been 7 days. She ain't been out of bed one time. And then she pushed on her stomach again. Ah! And I said, 7 days, man, it ain't barely been 2. She said, no, and started arguing with me. So I said, I want to see your supervisor, I want your supervisor. She said, no, you don't need a supervisor. Yanked her mask down and got right up in my face, man. Okay? Like somebody that even wants to fuck or fight. And I wasn't there for neither one of those. These people was killing my wife. So I went out in the hallway and I said, hey, I need a supervisor, I need a charge nurse now. I need it now. Okay, my son was there. All the nurses come running. They didn't even ask what was going on. They pointed at me, they said, I'm calling the police, you're going to jail, you're threatening. This is the result of that night. Now, they called the cops. I wasn't threatening nobody. I asked for a supervisor. Okay, they called the cops, and this punk-ass Hernandez is the responding punk piece of shit that showed up there. The same supervisor that had me arrested here. Detective Collins, now I stayed with my wife night and day 24/7. Detective Collins woke me up in the morning at 4:30 in the morning to question me because this punk Hernandez trying to put a case on me. When all I did was ask for a supervisor, but I want y'all to see the result. Okay? I want y'all to see the result. What this injury is. Okay? Now see that? That's from a colostomy. That's because all the stitches was tore out on night number 2 within 36 hours of the fucking emergency surgery. But I'm the one that's guilty of a crime here. You prick pieces of shit. You prick pieces of shit. Okay, let's show y'all. This is the unique ostomy wound that I had to care for. Just so y'all can see that this here, see now a couple of staples have been taken out. This is actually a couple of weeks after the fact. After she got out of ICU and I actually got to bring her home, and then about 4 or 5 days later, you know, because they actually took a couple of staples out right there in the hospital. Okay, I had to pack it with silver alginate, silver infused gauze, okay? You see the wound right here? You see how it's opened up right there? You see this, man? Yeah, because I'm an abusive nurse, and I see you, okay? And that ain't all. Let's talk about doctors sneezing in their hand in the glove and thinking they're going to continue working on arterial lines. Let's talk about this. And because I stood up and said something, I'm the bad guy. Okay? Y'all have no idea, man, okay? But I digress, man. I got to get off this right here. I got to get off this and back to what I was doing, okay? We're going to have a part 3. I can see that right now, okay?